Hi everyone, I'm Sam.
And I'm Walter.
And welcome to Unit 20, South Korea's population decline. So for some countries, they're trying to actually control their population growth. One such country being the Philippines.
Right.
So the Philippines are actually set to break the record of population growth that was set in the year 2000.
Oh, wow.
So this has kind of been caused mainly due to the current lockdowns, which began in March for many places in the Philippines.
Yeah.
So because of the lockdowns, there was a scarcity of birth control and other forms of, like birth and pregnancy medication.
Scarcity.
Scarcity. Actually, it was reviewed that in April 2020, 23,000 babies were born. And when you compare that into the whole population, that's really, really small. And also, what's really sad is during this COVID-19 situation, there has been an obvious increase in deaths, which is about 3.3% higher than it was last year. And at the moment, this means that the deaths have actually outnumbered the births. So that makes it a very clear population decline.
Outnumber.
Outnumber.
Have you noticed a population decline, let's say in Australia, or have you noticed it here in Korea?
To be honest with you, yeah, I guess I have a little bit. Here in Korea anyway, a long time ago, I used to work in a kindergarten academy, a few kindergarten academies, and they were struggling for business. So they had a long time ago, I heard that kindergartens were kind of pushing kids away because they just didn't have the capacity to hold them within the school. And by the time I started working there, they were screaming for anybody. There was massive competition within kindergartens. So there is a noticeable change within South Korea itself. Within Australia, we're such a big country. It's really hard to really see any effects of the decrease or increase of childbirth. How about in the UK? Since you're a smaller country, do you notice there's a lot more children these days, a lot less children? How do you feel?
I feel like there's more. There's definitely an increase in the population. It is hard to recognize, definitely, but I just kind of get that feeling, whether it's because I'm getting older and I'm like, these damn kids, get off my lawn. Or I'm not sure, but there is statistically a growth as well. How many students were in a typical class when you were a kid?
I'm not probably the best person to ask because I grew up in a very countryside school. I went to primary school and there was only 60 students in the whole school, but I didn't grow up in the city, so it's a little bit different. When I went to high school, which was a bit more populated, 10 to 15, because even my high school was considered small amongst city schools, only 700 odd students. How about in the UK? You lived kind of more towards the city?
I lived a bit, more towards the city in the suburbs, I guess. And yeah, actually in my kind of grade, we say year in England. So in my year, there were 60 people.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Jeez.
And that was split into two separate classes.
Yeah.
So it was, 30. It was probably a bit under 60, to be honest. But yeah, there was about 25 to 30 people and then two separate classes.
Oh, wow, that's a lot.
Yeah, per grade. It was a pretty big one, actually. Anyway, that does it for the preview section, and we'll see you in the review.